South, Kytana Muniz, future Texas A&M Kingsville Javelina, and Kari Cisneros, former Lady Greyhound of San Benito. She'll be heading up to Prairie View A&M. We had Haley Craig and Claire Blanca lined up on our shows, but they're in the middle of, well, Claire's at work, and then Haley is in the middle of moving. I know this time of year, you guys are quite busy when it comes to getting your colleges ready. So we wanted to have them on, but unfortunately they were able to make it. So it's going to be an all Valley show here with Kari and Kytana. Girls, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Glad you can have. Definitely. Kytana, you've been on here before. Kari, this is well, actually, you've been on here before as well with your signing. So how have you guys been? I know travel ball officially wrapped up this past weekend, and just how did you guys take in your last tour as far as the travel ball and the whole summer ball went? Kari, we'll start with you.
I had fun, you know. I definitely cried a little bit, got a little emotional. Tana knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Kytana?
I had fun. I had a lot of fun. We're joking around, making jokes throughout the entire tournament because we knew it was going to be our last one. And God willing, we get to play again during our college seasons. But we're joking around a lot and trying to make sure she doesn't cry.
As far as y'all's age goes, do y'all still have one more year of eligibility in travel ball, or this was it?
I think this is it for us. Well, for me, I know we age out because
Right. Yeah. The age. Kytana, the same for you. You've already aged out. You'll be 19 by the time next summer rolls around.
I'll be 19 by the time next year rolls around. I'll be aged out.
Definitely. So, you know, we'll start off with your travel team, MVP Fastpitch. For those that don't know, it's a team combined from girls, obviously from the Rio Grande Valley. April Garcia is also on that team from Harlingen. She's going to be a junior. And Kelsey Pizzato, she's going to be a senior. She's from Rojondo. And then add Kari and Kytana in the mix. That brought that RGV tie together. And we had girls from the Corpus area, the Coastal Bend. We had some girls from San Antonio. And then like Andrea Martinez, she was from Bishop High School. So all there in between. That's what MVP Fastpitch makes up, coached by Derek Saldivar, who we wanted to have on the show too, but coach is at work right now. So shout out to him if he's watching. But he put this team together, and you know the backstory was coach reached out to me if we wanted to go out and cover you guys, and we saw that we had some Valley girls on that team. So he said definitely. We went out there, we met coach. I mean, obviously we knew you guys, but we met the rest of the team. How long had you guys been on MVP Fastpitch? Kytana, we'll start with you this time.
I haven't been on MVP long, maybe 2 seasons, and that's about it.
Kari?
yeah, for me it was about 2 or 3 summers ago that I started playing with MVP.
And how did you know, for those that don't know, how does travel ball work, and how do you guys, I don't want to get the word recruited, but how do you guys join a team like MVP? Kari?
Well, for me, Coach Derek actually reached out to me. I wasn't playing with anybody at the time, and he heard about me, so he asked around. He got my dad's number, and you know, he shot us a text, and he asked if I wanted to play, and I said yes, and then I've been with MVP since then.
Kytana?
I've played with multiple teams, but coming to MVP was more of Gotti's dad and my mom talking about it and having us both play together, like when we were little.
Right. So it was more of a 2-for-1 kind of deal with MVP. They get, you know, you get one, but you also add Kytana to the mix. You know, what were some things that you guys enjoyed about playing for MVP? I know one thing for me on the outside looking in, I saw the pitching staff, like we were talking earlier. I saw that go up a notch, and both of y'all are catchers. For me, that's what stood out is, you know, some of those girls that you guys had on that team, you know, they can really spin the ball. Kari, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I like playing with MVP because like the chemistry that we have, all of us girls like mix really well. And then as far as our pitchers, like every girl can definitely hold their own. Cameron, Dre, Haley. I mean, Tani even pitches sometimes. I mean, they're really good.
Definitely. For Kytana, for you, what stood out the most?
What stood out for me was that everybody was family friendly. We were like sisters to each other. Everybody told everybody everything. And if we had any problems, we worked it out right then and there. We wouldn't beat around the bush. We'd talk about it. And so for me, that was what was good about us.
You guys were able to have that first tournament in Kyle, the tournament we were able to go to. We were bummed that Kytana that you couldn't make it, but Kari, you were there, we were there, and that was really the first live sports we had seen since the softball season, and the first live sports anyone had seen in quite some time. I know that there was a lot of emotions from everybody, not only on the team, but on the coaching staff and with us as well. Take us back to that weekend, and what was that like on being able to actually play ball again?
It felt good to be on the field again. We definitely had like a little rust on us, but I mean, we shook it off at the end of the day. I got home after that, and I was super sore, but like it felt good to be sore.
Yeah, it's in a good way, because I know you guys had played a couple of games on Saturday, and then y'all played 3 or 4 games on Sunday, and that's the norm for you guys. But I'm sure to just pick up out of nowhere and get back into that mode, it takes a little bit of getting used to for you guys. Another thing I was really impressed with you guys was, offensively, you guys were stacked. April was tearing the cover off the ball. You, Kari, Kytana, Cam, the way she was swinging, and Claire, she hit that monster home run. Just how deep was y'all's lineup? Kytana, we'll start with you.
Our lineup is pretty good. We have our contact hitters, but we have a lot of power hitters in the middle of the lineup. So it's just everybody's always on and everybody's always moving. Even if one person's off, the next person behind them is on and hitting and bringing everyone else around.
Right, and I noticed one thing that you guys were doing was you all scored early and you guys scored often. And it seemed as if when the lineup would flip to the top of the order, 8-9-1, 9-1-2, you guys worked the pitches really well. And once that lineup would get flipped, 1 through 6, any of those girls could really hit it out the ballpark. Was that one way that you guys felt that any one of these girls can really go yard, not just make contact?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Everybody, everybody's good. Sorry.
Anisha Wallace too. I was really impressed with her. Just the athleticism she has. Her and Kelsey Pizzato, shortstop, second base, and then flip flop, short and second. Just how good were they as a catcher behind the plate, directing traffic, having a middle infield like that? Kari, we'll start with you because you're the primary catcher.
I mean, yeah, they work good together. They're good at talking to each other, knowing who's got bag. In which situations. Unfortunately, we don't have Anisha anymore, but
okay.
We managed.
Okay, I didn't know that, because last I seen, I know Anisha was there, and I was really impressed with her and what she did up the middle defensively. Moving on, guys, you guys both are going to be playing at the college level. Kytana, you're going to be heading up to Kingsville. Prairie View A&M for you, Kari. There's a lot of familiarity with Prairie View A&M. We saw, Crystal Castillo. I'm sure you grew up watching, Lady Hound, great former. I think she just graduated this past year, right?
Yes.
So, there's some San Benito tie there. And then, of course, Bianca Cruz is up there, Jerica Rojas, Alexia Hernandez from Pioneer. All you girls are going up there. What are you most excited about on joining the Panthers?
I'm really excited to see what the team's like to mesh with the girls. I'm excited to see who we play in conference and all that, just playing big time.
When did Prairie View A&M reach out to you as far as the recruiting process, or how did that work out for you?
I knew about them. I knew that Coach Van was looking at me my junior year, but I think he was looking at me since sophomore year. Junior year is when they actually reached out to me, but sophomore year they said that he had his eye on me as well. I know I took my visit junior year as well, and then senior year, that's when I decided okay, this is where I want to go.
And the plus side is having the Valley ties, like I mentioned, those girls that are already up there. Did you talk with Alexa or Jerica at all when you made your decision?
No, No, not really. But I mean, I do talk to them in the group chat and here and there, just see how they're doing.
Definitely. And for you, Quintana, you're going to A&M Kingsville. Roxy Chapa, she just got awarded best hitter of the decade there. And, we've been chatting about her with some of my softball buddies and just how great she was. That's the Valley tie you have there. Amber Reyes is there from Edinburgh High. I'm sure you know who she is. What are you excited about of joining the Javelinas?
To meet all the girls, to have fun with them, to get ready for season, to see what the Javelina life is all about and why they wanted to go, what made them go there, and to see just everybody to live the college life.
Definitely. And, Mark Molina, my buddy that's hosting the show right now, he actually went to A&M Kingsville, so he was pretty excited to hear that you were going to the Ville, as they call it, the Ville. But, this is a team that's a year removed from making the College World Series at the D2 level. I'm sure you were watching that thoroughly, and was that something that you said, hey, I want to be a part of one day?
Yes, very. I was always keeping up with them on when they would travel out, and especially in Denver, because not a lot of people thought they could make it out there and be one of the top teams to leave.
Right. And only, at the D2 level, but, as far as like the JUCO level, Temple and Angelina Junior College, those two are the only ones to win a national title in the JUCO level. So it'd be something for, you to add to what A&M Kingsville already has. As far as your schooling goes, guys, what's the next step? I know we're seeing a lot of schools, at least in the Valley, go virtually for the first few months, and then they'll be going back to in-person. But what's the plan for Prairie View A&M right now, Kari, for you guys?
What's happening for us is most of our classes are online. We do have a few classes that are like hybrid, which is like, half the class, like you will have to actually go and be face-to-face with the teacher, and then the other half, it'll just be online. But yeah, most of the classes are online right now.
Quintana?
My classes, I will have 2 online at the beginning of the semester, and I have to go in class for a couple of them. So I'm doing both. I'm doing I want to say a hybrid, but I'm going into my classes for the beginning. And then after Thanksgiving is when we go completely online. We're not going to be going into the classes anymore.
So are you all doing dorms? I imagine some of those things may change these days. Or what are y'all's plans as far as housing, Kari?
Right now, like I'm set to move into my dorm on the 16th. They just sent us a whole bunch of safety precautions, like to wear masks, the whole 6 feet apart. I know since I'm an athlete, I have to get tested for COVID once I get there on campus within the first 24 hours. And then we have to self-quarantine for the next 7 days.
Oh, okay. Quintana, how about you guys? What's the housing situation?
For us, we will be moving in I'll be moving in on the 21st, and you have an hour to move in and to get everything settled in. And what I know of is that they want us to be wearing masks, do the whole distancing and everything. And then in our dorms, I think they're just going to have us stay to our rooms inside the dorm itself. And then
Definitely.
That's about it.
And as far as your athletics go, we've seen the NBA adopt the whole bubble thing on teams being in a bubble. Obviously, Major League Baseball, the NFL can't exactly do those things, but have either of your programs maybe flirted or thought with the idea of maybe adopting that bubble idea to where you guys would, be from campus to your dorm to your workouts? Have they mentioned anything like that? Starting with you, Quintana?
He hasn't mentioned anything. I talked to him this past weekend, and he's just taking in everything as it comes because of COVID and the new rules that they're setting out for where our division is at, and then the Lone Star State Conference. For our conference, our spring sports are canceled. The championships are canceled. So we don't really know what's going to happen.
And that's got to be difficult because while you'll have a regular season, hopefully, there's no championships like you just mentioned. So that's a little deflating. Well, it is deflating for you guys as athletes. Kari, what about you guys as far as the athletic side of it? Are they taking, or what kind of extra measures are they taking?
Well, we did have a meeting with the whole softball team, and they told us that we're just gonna, from our rooms to work out to class, and that's it. And for every for the AM workouts or any workouts, we have to fill out a survey to make sure we're not, showing any of the symptoms. You have to get our temperatures checked. They also told us that we have to have different colored wristbands each day to make sure that we're allowed to go work out. But so far, our season's still on.
Wow, that's crazy. Who would have thought that you guys would having to be taking all these extra measures? But let's rewind the clock. Just a couple months ago, we were all in softball mode and at the high school level with you guys. Ironically enough, San Benito, Kari, Kytana, 32 6A, both of y'all, the same age, graduating class. You guys have duked it out over these last couple of years. And I know one thing's for sure is that when San Benito and Harlingen South play softball, it's some primetime stuff. I don't even know what game to go back and pick, but what game maybe stood out to you guys in these past couple of years when y'all played against each other? Yeah.
All of them.
I don't know which one to go back and pick because there's just so many. Was it let's see, last year Kytana, or was it against Harlingen? Kytana, you hit 2 home runs, or that was against San Benito, right?
It was against San Benito, but we were home. And I don't know, I believe it was my sophomore year.
Okay. Yeah, because it seems like every year you guys split, more or less, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're always 1-1. We're each other's losses basically during district.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And it's South wins at San Benito or San Benito wins at South. But again, these last couple of years, it's really become quite the rivalry. Really, the rivalry ignited when Coach Martinez went from San Benito to Harlingen South. That created the big old buzz. So since then, it's been the game to watch. But for you guys, being down the street from each other, what was it like just preparing for the San Benito game, say at San Benito for you, Kytana, being on the road at San Benito, just the fans, the environment, just what's it like playing there and preparing for those games?
It feels like you're on a big stage because everybody's watching. Y'all go live, the fans are filling up the stadium, and it's just a very intense game. You can feel the intensity once you get there, the minute you step off the bus into the dugout, and then to get to warm-ups and then introductions. It's just, you feel it. You feel like this game is on the line, one of the biggest things to play.
Kari, for you going to South, it's a little bit different as far as the way the park is, but you have the fans in the outfield, something that you don't have in San Benito, and then you have fans there kind of sitting on the back, but really in the outfield. And like in San Benito, you have people lined up on the sides all the way down the foul poles. But for you going to Harlingen South, is it more the same, just a loud crowd, the environment?
Definitely a little bit different having fans in the back watching you from every angle, but it's more or less the same. But like Tana said, you feel the intensity, like that game's hyped up so much. And I have fun playing the game. I honestly do, because I like the pressure that it puts on us. I feel like it makes us play better. It makes us push ourselves.
So you guys have to have one memory that sticks out. I know there's so many, but if you can pick one or two, what sticks out to you guys? And I want to say for me, I remember the Kayla Rogers home run.
Oh.
That game was just back and forth, left and right. I mean, seriously, to me, they're like boxing matches because Gotti hits a homer, Quintana hits a homer, Caitlin De La Fuente gets a strikeout, Crystal Gonzalez makes a play from her knees and throws the girl out, or Joanna Gonzalez hits a home run, or Joanna Gonzalez gets intentionally walked all 4 times, and everyone's booing Coach Martinez. I mean, we can go on and on, but what would stick out to you guys, or the fact that did this stick out that you two are so close that you're buddies before, but your enemies on the field?
I think the one game that everybody was like so wild up for was Coach Martinez's 500th win. It was our game. I think that game was what got everybody like to watch the game.
Right. No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that it was, yeah, he had, well, okay, so it was at Weslaco and then it was San Benito, and South lost both those games, and then he got it against, I believe it was Brownsville Rivera, Quintana, where he got the 500th win. Now, the funny backstory on that was it was South and Rivera, and no disrespect to Rivera, but I just knew that South was going to win that game, so I'm like, okay, well, they're going to win that game in 4 innings. Which other game can I go to? So I remember not being there, but I remember going to both the game at Weslaco and, of course, the San Benito game. One, because those 2 games were huge when Weslaco was still in y'all's district. It was a district, top of the food chain battle. And he was at 499. And I'm like, okay, he's got to get it once or he's got to get it twice. He's got to get it somewhere here. But he didn't. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right, he didn't get it here. He didn't get it there. And then Martinez finally gets it against Rivera. And he's like, well, where were you? And I'm like, dude, like I gave you 2 chances to get 500. You didn't get it. And he's like, okay, fine. You got me there. But yeah, that game where Martinez was aiming for his 500th win, there was a little extra motive for you guys, right, Kari?
Yeah, definitely didn't want to lose that game.
Not against us, not today. Kytana, how about you? I mean, like I said, there's so many games that stand out.
I'd go with the game that we walked Joanna 4 times because that was the game that I hit 2 home runs and I got walked the 3rd time. And San Benito was like, "How do you guys like it now?" And I remember
that.
And I remember catching and Joe going up to bat. And she's like, "Come on, man, just let me hit." And I was like, "I'm sorry, it's not my decision."
I was playing first, and I was like, "Hey, buddy."
Yes.
Who won? What was that? The game where Joanna caught the ball in foul grounds, and they thought maybe the ball bounced.
Oh, it was Aaliyah. It was Aaliyah, actually.
Or Aaliyah, yeah. Aaliyah ran in front of the dugout, caught it. That was that same game, right?
Yes, we lost that.
San Benito still ended up winning that game, right? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was definitely a crazy one. And of course, the Kayla Rogers, what was it, a 3-run home run? Yes. I think you had a double in the gap that tied it. Tosh, I think, started off that inning. So, just so many names, so many memories that you guys were able to put together and, take on the field. And, San Benito, Kari, for you guys, getting Coach Lita in, since she's been there, you guys have won the district. And then this past year, your senior year, really there was no telling with what South was going to do. Harlingen looked really good. They looked very young. Kari, you guys were starting to really click with girls like Bethany Aguilar, Emily Delgado. Those girls, were very young. I know we had Christina Ariano on the show, I think last week when she was Chaos. We were talking to Tina, and Tina was saying that, yeah, San Benito brought an army. When it came to the youth that you guys had on y'all's team, Kari, I believe you were the lone senior on the starting 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
For you, how was it leading those younger girls and just seeing them develop, as the season was going on?
Well, honestly, I like seeing how the younger girls mesh together with us. They have a lot to learn, but I mean, they can hold their own. I didn't get to lead much, but I mean, what I did do, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
How good can those girls be? Because, Bethany Aguilar, as a shortstop, her and there's a couple of other girls on that shortstop list. As far as the freshman class go, they can be pretty good.
Beth definitely isn't at her full potential yet. She can do way greater things. Like right now, she's probably the best one we have right now.
And Kytana, for you guys, you and Kayla Rogers and Tina Ariano, you guys, I was joking with Tina. I said I felt you guys never graduated. I felt you guys have been around for so long. But for the younger girls on your team, kind of the same question I asked Scotty, the girls, like Alexa, she's going to be coming back. And then, Illy's still going to be just a junior. So just what's next for the Lady Hawks and, as far as those younger girls?
I really don't know who's coming up as far as the younger girls, like the freshman wise, but for who's coming back is they're going to be on their game. They're going to want this season because they haven't been able to do much other than play these past tournaments. And they were really looking forward to this past season for high school because we really felt we were going to go far and do stuff. And everybody got close this past year, and it was great because there was no fighting, no arguments. Everybody was getting along, and we had it put together. We had everything together. And for them to come back, they're gonna come back pretty good. They shouldn't have any problems.
Last question for you guys before we wrap up. Do you all, as seniors, fortunately for you guys earned the right to be playing at the college level, but having the senior season just pulled from under your feet like that, and all the levels of uncertainty that we all went through these past couple of months. Personally, Kytana, when you look in the mirror, can you say my high school softball career is wrapped up? I have no regrets, and you kind of just feel you're content.
I'm content with what happened, how we ended our season against Lyford and everything.
Right.
To say that my high school season was wrapped up the way I wanted it to, no.
Kari?
I mean, same here. I like the way I went out, in our tournament, hitting balls the way I should. But definitely, like, I feel like this season was my season. Like, I was gonna make things happen. I definitely, I'm sad inside that, I didn't get to finish it. Like, everything that I've been waiting for, it's just gone. But I mean, I have college ball to look forward to, so I mean, I guess it's okay.
Right, yeah, and that's what, that's the thing too. That's the big thing with you guys. Like, you guys earned that right to be playing at the college level, because it'd be one thing to where you guys would be just going to school and not be playing anymore, and really that would have just been it. But you guys, again, are going to be playing at the college level. So again, we're joined by MVP Fastpitch, Kari Cisneros, former San Benito Lady Greyhound. She's going to be headed up to Prairie View A&M. Kytana Muniz, former Harlingen South Lady Hawk. She's going to be headed up to A&M Kingsville. Both of these frenemies, you can say, on and off the field. And again, Haley Craig was going to join us, Claire Blanca, but they're out taking care of their business. So a shout out to them, and a shout out to you guys, and shout out to Coach Derek for having us around this past summer. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys again. Before we wrap up, any shout outs you guys want to give out to anybody?
Shout out to my family who's watching, and to everybody who decided to tune in today and watch us talk about everything that's happening.
Shout out to my family and friends watching. That's about it.
Before we go, I want to know the backstory between the spoon and the Woody deal. I saw it on Facebook.
It was our moms. I guess it started because the way our friendship is, and then Kytana's mom pulled up a picture of Forky and Woody from the toy store where Forky's and Woody's so yeah. I was like, why not?
Scotty's Woody and I'm Forky, and I'm the one who's supposed to say that we're both trash because if we do bad in a game or just in a tournament, we're just oh well, okay.
We're just happens.
Definitely. So that about wraps up our show, guys. For the fans watching, a big day for Real Sports Live, as today we were able to officially extend our broadcast into the Coastal Bend area. Joe, Rudy, and Billy are out there covering some live volleyball up there in the Coastal Bend. So a shout out to them. And we've had live sports on all today. So that's very relieving for a sports fan and a person who's involved with it. I'm sure for you guys, to be able to see some sort of live sports in some shape or form. Later today at 5, Raul Arteaga will be joining us on the show at 5 o'clock, a former Mercedes Tiger. He's playing up at Iowa Westland, playing football up there. So he'll be joining the show later today at 5. Mark Molina will have that. So Kytana, Kari, again, thanks guys for taking the time out of y'all's schedule to join us here on the show and talk some softball.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us.
Thank you,
Definitely.
Kevin.
We'll see you
Thanks
guys.
for having me.
We'll see you.
Have a good day.